Hi guys, and welcome back to Living the Dream. I'm Jim.
And I'm Marge.
And today, as promised, we're going to introduce you to our fur baby family. We had a lot of requests on the Facebook page, which is Living the Dream YouTube, from folks who wanted to meet the kids and see how we travel with them.
And this is Alfred. He's the old man. We're guessing about 14 or 15 years old. When we lived in upstate New York, he used to come to my apartment all the time with dead birds. He was a stray, and leave them for me, which I wasn't too pleased about, but I know that's a gift from them. But he's, we think he might be part Maine Coon. So we kidnapped him and brought him here with us. And he's kind of the boss of the house. He has asthma, so I have to give him treatments twice a day. And what else about you, buddy? He also sleeps with me on my head specifically, and I try to push him off, and at some point in the night I wake up in the middle of the night and he literally sleeps on my head. He puts his head on my head. Come here, buddy. Here, see, go. You go. Well, you see, he hears Dad with the treat, so he's trying to escape. There we go. So we also call him Elvis because he had a broken tooth a few years ago, and when he meows, his lip gets stuck, so he looks like he got that smear. There you go. And this is actually, we gave up all our furniture in the house. The cats take precedence. So this new kitchen table that we bought is now property of the cats. This is usually Gwen's hideout. When Gwen's not up here hiding in her RV, Alfred likes to come up and hang out here. And they actually get along quite well. He doesn't tolerate the other cats picking on her, so they'll actually smack him around a little bit if they pick on her. It's an automatic feeder. It has, I believe, 4 settings for times on it, and it has several settings for the amount of food. And they're actually starting to fire off now, so the cats are getting antsy. These are a great thing to have if we're not going to be home, if we're out working or if we're away, all day or whatever. We got 6 of them, and so far we've had them for a couple of years, and they're very reliable. We've never had any issues with them. We even dropped one off the table, and it still worked.
Well, theoretically, we have 7 or 8 food bots because you and I count as 2.
Oh, that's right. We're the can openers.
We are the can openers for the cats. We're excited. They don't raise our rent monthly, so we're pretty happy about that. But we are the 7th and 8th food bot, the automatic feeders.
Okay, so this is Tabitha. Jim's nickname for her is Chubbitha. And she is our second oldest. She's only a few months older than Gwendy is. She's a dolly. Again, something about shelter cats. A lot of them don't like to be picked up. She will come to you and she'll sit on your lap, and she's just a little lovey. She's very lovable. But she, you never know when you get shelter animals what history they have. She's very scared when you try to pick her up. She hides her head, and she sounds like what can only be described as a chinchilla. She kind of coos like a dove sometimes, like a little pigeon. We call her a little pidgey. But she's a dolly. She's also put on a bit of weight since she's come into our house. One of the things that she really likes to do for us several times throughout the day is she'll bring us a small chicken.
What a good baby.
So she thinks we need food, or she wants to teach us how to hunt. We haven't really been sure. The vet's not sure why she does that. But she'll walk through the house carrying this bird, or one of several other birds that we have in the house, and just meowing very loudly, brings it in, drops it at our feet, and goes away. So we'll sneak up on her and we'll get a picture of her, grabbing the bird or bringing it in. If she can't find a bird, she brings us a shoelace, anything she can find, and that's our dinner or breakfast or what have you. So, again, this is Tabitha. She's about 7 as well. Okay, so this is Gwendolyn. She's our 3rd oldest, otherwise known as Gwendy. She doesn't like to be picked up, so we kind of go to her. Once in a while, she'll come and sit on our lap. They're all quirky in their own little way. She's a lot more vocal and a lot more friendly when the others aren't around. She's having a little bit of a time adjusting. She's gotten a lot better. She's not putting up with as much crap as the other cats do. She's about 7, and when she came to us, she was grossly underweight. She had a serious liver problem. She had nearly no hair. Her tail looked as though like a possum would, and now she's absolutely beautiful. She's got beautiful soft fur, and she's put on some weight, probably a little in excess, as everyone in this house tends to do. But again, this is our little Gwendy, and she's not being very social right now, but she's a good girl. So this is little Bella. She has quite a few nicknames. Bella Boop, we call her the Boop. I call her Boopalicious. She's just about 3. I think she'll be 4 in August. And she's got an interesting story behind her. She's a dolly. We were preparing for Hurricane Irma, I believe it was. I had just had a hip replacement done, and we kept hearing this cat squawking. And every time we went outside, there were lawn mowers and things going on, and we couldn't find her. And then, so I kept checking throughout the day, and I finally go out around 6:30 after dinner, and I hear her, and it's pretty quiet in the neighborhood. So I call Jim. He doesn't hear me, so I'm out there with my walker, running across the street, because I hear this little kitty crying. And I get to the house across the road from us that there was no one living in at the time. And there's this little, what I thought was a pile of leaves that comes running at me, squawking like you wouldn't believe. For the little thing on her, she was less than a pound when we found her. And she had a pair of lungs on her that were unbelievable. So of course, once they come in this house, they're never leaving again. She's just a little dolly. She sleeps with me every night. She'll come up and literally hug me and purr and just go to sleep with me. She doesn't get along too well with Gwen. They've gotten better, but you know, it's only been a year. So we're hoping at some point they're going to get along a little bit better. But she's a good baby. She really is. She kind of hangs out in our room a lot. And not terribly camera shy. She's just getting into her napping. She's a little portly. Like I said, she was about a pound or so when we got her. Now she's tipping the scales around 16 pounds. But, you know, she's my little baby. There she goes. Everybody loves a rump rub. Everybody loves a rump rub. And you can tell she's a good baby. Most cats are not very, they don't show their belly. She lets me pet her belly. I can even give her Thurberts if I want to. And this is little Lucy. She is our second youngest. She's about maybe a year and a half or so. She's a little bit shy. She's actually recently gotten friendly where she'll come out and sit with me when I'm sitting on the couch. She's only about 7 or 8 pounds. She seems to eat pretty good, but she just must have a really fast metabolism. But she's a good baby. She's a little tortoise shell as well, kind of like Bella. Most tortoise shells are females, mostly. It's not very often you see a male tortoise shell. But she came from the shelter. Say hello. Say hello. Yeah, she's my little baby girl. My little teeny. Okay, so this is Sherlock. He's the little imp in the house. He's into everything. He's funny though, because he'll just make you laugh. You want to get mad, but you'll wind up laughing at him. He chases little Lucy around all the time, which is probably why she's so skinny. But he gets into our water bottles, knocks them over, gets everything wet, eats everybody's food. He was a whopping 3 pounds when we got him, and he is now probably about 10 pounds. He's a big boy. He's gonna be a big boy. He's very burly, and he's adorable. He helps me feed the outside pets, raccoons. So he comes out every night and helps me get the food ready for them. Come here. Come on. And if you talk like a baby to him, sometimes he'll like roll over and act really goofy. Come on, babies, night time. Come on, babies, night time. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, let's go, hurry. Come in, Sherlock, hurry up. Come on. Here it comes. Hurry up. Come on, hurry. Come on, let's go, hurry. Come in, Sherlock, hurry up. Come on. Here it comes. Hurry up. Come on, hurry. Come on, don't worry about what Papa's doing. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Here we go. Are you hungry? All right. All right, here we go. What, in here? Is this what you want? Is it? This is it. Oh my goodness. There you go. Come on, let's move along. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. Come on, Alfred. Come on. Alfred. Come on, off our tables. There we come. So you may have noticed some little devices on the cat's collars. They're actually called tiles. They originally were for people finding their keys because they go on your keychain and you can activate it from your phone or whatever, or finding your phone. We put these on the cats so we can find them. They're not like GPS or anything like that. There are, I guess, programs or what are they called? Subscriptions.
Yeah, there
that
are
you
other
can
devices.
enter.
There's
Yeah.
subscriptions available, but the only problem is with cats, the GPS tracking devices, which sometimes use their own cellular data, are just big. So this happened to work out pretty well, and Tile actually has a pretty good community of people that follow it. So, for instance, when we do a Tile search, it'll say, it'll say hypothetically there's 300 Tile subscribers in your area, and it's our understanding that some of those folks can be alerted to look for that Tile as well. But we also use breakaway leather collars for them. You probably hear the horror stories of cats
Reflective.
getting their collar stuck in drains or grates,
Trees,
especially.
fences, things like
Yeah.
that. So you always want to have a breakaway collar. So once you clip it, throw my glasses on.
Sure, around your head.
I know. If they get caught, it just comes apart.
Yeah.
And
Especially
these
with
are-
RVing because of the floor grates
Oh,
and the
yeah.
floor, vents,
But
etc. We don't
these
want
are very light. Jim rigged them so that they're up on the collar because when they were hanging down, it was going in their water bottle or water dishes and so on. So it winds up rendering them, they don't work anymore. So that's why we put them on like that. Works out well. I think we have more devices and things for cats in the house than we do for ourselves.
We do, but they can't advocate
But
for
they
themselves,
can't.
so we have to. And the
We gotta
tiles that
take
we
care of
use,
them.
yeah, the tiles that we use actually have a replaceable battery. You can get one that has an internal battery, and they really talk about the average lifespan of tile being about a year. So we travel obviously with the 6 of them on each of their collars, and then we have 4 backup tiles. We do a tile test before we take off to RV, and you'll see our video for our prep on what we do to get the herd ready to go traveling.
That's usually where we use the tiles most, is
Yeah.
trying to find them, because they hide. Once they get in the RV, they're like all happy and they're good about it.
Yeah.
These, I think they cost about maybe $25 or $30 a piece.
Maybe a little over a month now, month and a half, is a device called Waggle. And what Waggle is a temperature monitor, and I guess it was specifically designed for folks who have pets. So Waggle has its own cellular network that you pay into. I think it costs us $149 a year, although we got some money off with a promo code. And what that does when we are home, obviously not an issue because we're here to maintain the
Equilibrium.
or the air conditioner. The big words are a lot. But we bought it mostly for RVing. So what Waggle does is this: simply plugs into the RV when we're not there. So if we're bicycling or motorcycling and the pets are there, it will send us an automatic, and I'm talking real-time alert. So if the power goes out on the RV, although it does have backup battery, it'll alert us to both Marge and I's phone and email. And then it'll tell you if there is a spike or a decrease in temperature depending on the parameters that you set. So we're real happy about that. We're also going to start traveling with Amazon Alexa, so we can have the guard feature, so that way we'll know when the fire alarm or the smoke alarm goes off rather, and a couple of blink cameras that we use with cellular data. These products are great, and they're, the information sharing that we can use, especially with social media, is awesome. Two of our very good friends who you met at our Dinner with the Friends video, Lonnie and Danielle, now have a Waggle as well. They travel in their fifth wheel with three little terriers.
Boston Terriers.
Yeah, Boston Terriers, who you will meet, and they are a handful. Actually, they're two handfuls, now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah, so you'll get to meet them as well. So, when you're a pet parent, you got to do what you got to do to make them happy and safe. It also gives Margie and I peace of mind knowing that, look, if the temperature does dump or there's an RV park outage as far as power, we'll just simply make a U-turn and go back. And a shout out to all our friends, most of whom they're all current or former pet parents, and they know and have never given any grief about going back to the RV or getting summons back to the hotel at La Quinta in Panama City Beach when we were up for the rally, and Bob and Dottie, who you met as well, their dog created a little bit of a ruckus, and they were going to get sent down to the front desk at the hotel, but it actually worked out. Okay, so last thing for you pet parents, especially those who have cat children, it is extremely important that you have the talk with them, and that talk is about the ongoing catnip problem that is taken over the country. These cats did not get the talk, or got it and didn't listen to it.
They didn't care.
Yeah, so they are really hooked on the catnip. So we travel with a large quantity of catnip, and that's one of the reasons that we don't leave the country, is for fear of getting stopped at the border. I have to explain what all that catnip is doing in the RV. But they love it, and the show that we get afterwards is amazing. From rolling around to
Just being goofy.
Yeah,
Totally
they're just
goofy.
putting on some sunglasses and telling us how much they love us,
Listening to
man.
some Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, so they're really cool with doing that. Lastly is their cat treats. We actually just transitioned over from typical cat treats. I forget the name of them.
It'll come to me in a
Yep,
hurry.
we don't know either. But we went to a hairball cat treat to slow down or at least minimize some of the hairballs that we wake up to each day. So that's always fun. Not so
Especially
much
in
for
bare
me,
feet.
because I just point them out and Marge does the cleanup. I'm more of an idea man. Those of you who follow the
Temptations.
channel. Yes, Temptations cat treats.
Yep.
So
The
that's it.
catnip, they actually have a flavor that's catnip. They love. And then we had that, and we also they now make a formula that's for hair.
Yeah, so they're
It's a
excited.
win-win.
Yeah, very excited, and it shows when we check out at the supermarket how much we love our cats. So that pretty much winds down the fur babies. Keep those questions coming. Please hit like, subscribe, share the channel. We love the comments, guys, and we're going to be doing an e-bike episode fairly soon, a motorcycle episode, an RV episode. Get ready, we've got a tri-state trip planned.
Actually, we're going to do two e-bikes.
Two e-bike
So we have
trip.
2 more on the way.
Yeah, 2 more. So keep an eye on the channel and send us some send us some things that you want us to talk about. All right. Up until then, hey guys, what do we always say? Keep living the dream.
Okay, I got my mouse.